On a quiet, overcast afternoon, a little girl sits by her bedroom window, absent-mindedly playing with her Polaroid camera, when something unusual catches her eye: a strange car parked just outside her house. Its dull, metallic exterior reflects the pale light, and an eerie stillness surrounds it. She squints, pressing her nose against the glass, her curiosity piqued. Who does it belong to? Why is it just sitting there? Gripping her camera tightly, she tiptoes downstairs and out the front door, the cool air sending a shiver down her spine. She inches closer to the mysterious vehicle, her fingers trembling as she raises the camera. The passenger seat is occupied by a figure, draped in a dark, heavy cloak. The hood obscures its face, but she can sense something off. The figure doesn't move, doesn't acknowledge her presence. A sudden noise startles her. A voice, soft yet unnatural, whispers from behind her house. She spins around, her heartbeat hammering in her ears. Step by step, she approaches the source of the sound, and then she sees it. A person, or perhaps something pretending to be a person, stands there. Its face is pale, ghostly white, almost unnatural. The little girl gasps, a chill racing down her spine. The Polaroid camera slips from her grasp, hitting the ground with a dull thud. Years later, FBI Special Agent Lee Harker is in the middle of a case that has the entire bureau on edge. A ruthless serial killer is on the loose, leaving behind a trail of blood-soaked crime scenes and shattered families. The killings are methodical, deliberate, and deeply unsettling. But what truly sends a chill down Harker's spine is the bizarre pattern that connects the victims. Each one shares the same birth date. Harker and her seasoned partner are pounding the pavement, knocking on doors in a suburban neighborhood, searching for leads. It's routine work, the kind that often leads to dead ends. But today is different. Today, something is wrong. Her instincts tingle, an unshakable sense of danger crawling under her skin. And then it happens. Gunshot shatters the stillness of the afternoon. Before Harker can react, her partner crumples to the ground, blood pooling beneath him. Her body moves on autopilot, years of training kicking in. She chases after the suspect, her pulse a thunderous roar in her ears. Her grip tightens around her weapon, every fiber of her being screaming at her to be ready. And yet, when she finally corners the suspect, she doesn't pull the trigger. A strange, unexplainable force surges through her, guiding her actions with eerie precision. She anticipates the suspect's every move, dodging, countering, knowing exactly what he'll do before he does it. And just like that, he's captured. It isn't until later, in the sterile brightness of an interrogation room, that the truth emerges. Lee Harker has a gift. Medical tests confirm what Harker can't explain. She has psychic abilities, a heightened intuition that goes beyond logic and reason. Instead of being dismissed, her newfound abilities earn her a new assignment, one that few would dare take on. She is placed on the case of Longlegs. The name alone sends shudders down the spines of even the most hardened agents. Longlegs is no ordinary killer. He doesn't just murder, he orchestrates elaborate, ritualistic murder-suicides, turning entire families into his unwitting puppets. At every crime scene, he leaves behind a letter scrawled with cryptic symbols, eerie messages, and ominous codes. Each letter is signed the same way: Longlegs, no fingerprints, no DNA, no eyewitnesses. It's as if the killer is a ghost, slipping through the cracks of reality, taunting the authorities with his twisted messages. And now, it's up to Harker to decipher them. As she delves into the case, the deeper she goes, the more the lines blur between reality and something far darker. After a long and grueling first day on the case, she accepts a ride home from her supervisor, Agent Carter. She meets his wife, Anna, and their young daughter, Ruby, who is eager for her upcoming birthday party. Despite the weight of the case pressing down on her, Harker finds herself agreeing to attend the celebration in a week's time. She doesn't know it yet, but that simple promise will change everything. FBI agent Lee Harker is no stranger to eerie cases, but nothing could have prepared her for the chilling mystery of Longlegs. It all begins on a seemingly ordinary night at home, when Harker hears a knock at her door. Peering outside, she spots a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. The air is thick with an unsettling presence. Steeling herself, she steps outside to investigate, only to realize that the figure is now inside her house. Rushing back, she finds an ominous letter addressed to her, containing a simple yet haunting message. A birthday card from someone named Longlegs. Determined to unravel the sinister puzzle, Harker follows a cryptic clue that reads, X marks the spot. This leads her to a former crime scene, where she notices an unsettling cross etched into the floor. Digging beneath it, she makes a macabre discovery, a small buried doll. But the horror doesn't stop there. Inside the doll's head, she finds a strange metallic orb. When analysed through an ultrasound, the object emits an eerie, whisper-like sound, triggering something deep within Harker, something otherworldly. Her psychic abilities, long dormant, begin to stir. Seeking more answers, Harker visits Carrie Ann, the only survivor of a brutal massacre connected to Longlegs. Now locked away in a mental institution, Carrie Ann recalls the day she received one of Longlegs' dolls as a birthday gift. That seemingly innocent present marked the beginning of a nightmare. Shortly after, her father inexplicably murdered their entire family while she was away on a field trip. Carrie Ann speaks in a trance-like devotion to Longlegs, revealing that the voices from inside the doll spoke to her, guiding her actions, shaping her thoughts. Her allegiance is terrifyingly unwavering. Without hesitation, she declares that she would do anything for Longlegs, whether it be taking her own life or even killing Harkea. With mounting dread, Harker pieces together Longlegs never acted alone. There had to be an accomplice. Analysing the pattern of past murders, she spots a deeply unsettling connection. The dates of the killings form an inverted pentagram, but one date is still missing. The case has just taken a deeply personal turn. Seeking solace, Harker visits her mother, but what she finds instead is a chilling revelation from her past. In her childhood bedroom, she uncovers a locked chest filled with old Polaroid photographs. Among them, one image stands out, a picture of a pale-faced man. The sight of him sends an icy chill down her spine. This is the man she has been chasing. This is Longlegs. The FBI wastes no time. Following the lead, they track him down and arrest him in broad daylight as he waits at a bus stop, his demeanor eerily calm. The interrogation room becomes a stage for unspeakable horror. Seated across from the man now identified as Dale Ferdinand Cobble, Harker watches as he grins, almost delighted, and begins to sing happy birthday to her. The sound is grotesque, crawling under her skin. When she demands answers, Longlegs claims he is merely a servant of the man downstairs, Satan himself. His chilling words only grow darker when Harker presses about his accomplices. He smiles and tells her to ask your mummy. Then, with a sudden, nightmarish final act, he smashes his head against the table with inhuman force over and over until his skull caves in, ending his own life. And then, the most horrifying truth of all comes to light. Harker was never just an investigator in this case, she was always a part of it. In a sick twist of fate, she realizes that she was the little girl from the prologue, the one who first encountered Longlegs all those years ago. The memories rush back like a flood, but the nightmare isn't over yet. Racing to confront her mother, Harker arrives at her childhood home, an uneasy feeling twisting in her gut. With her FBI partner at her side, she glances up at her old bedroom window, just in time to see her mother calmly raise a shotgun and shoot her colleague dead. The horror is paralyzing. Heart pounding, Harker steps outside to face her mother, who stands there, eerily composed, cradling a doll that looks exactly like Harker herself. Without hesitation, her mother raises the shotgun again, not at her, but at the doll. She pulls the trigger. The doll's head explodes. Darkness engulfs Harker. The world fades. And then, nothing. In a shocking and twisted revelation, the movie takes us on a flashback journey as we learn that her own mother, the woman who raised her, was secretly an accomplice to the infamous serial killer known as Longlegs. But her role in his reign of terror was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Disguised as a nun, Harker's mother infiltrated homes under the guise of kindness, delivering eerie, possessed dolls to unsuspecting families. These dolls weren't just playthings, they were catalysts for pure evil. Families who received them would soon find themselves victims of gruesome ritualistic murders. But why would she do such a thing? The answer is chilling. She had made a deal with Longlegs himself, a pact that would spare her own daughter from becoming one of his victims. And there's more. Harker, as it turns out, had a doll of her own, one that was never used in the killings. This untouched relic from her childhood granted her eerie psychic abilities, shaping her life and leading her down the path of law enforcement. But there was something even more terrifying hiding in the shadows of her past. During her childhood, Longlegs had secretly lived in her home, lurking in the basement, watching, waiting, earning the horrifying title of the man downstairs. Flash forward to the present. Harker wakes up in a cold, dark basement, her head pounding. The eerie silence is broken by the shrill ring of a phone. Groggy and disoriented, she stumbles upstairs, her breath hitching as she picks up the receiver. A deep, menacing voice on the other end rasps, "You're late for Ruby's party." Instantly, the horror floods back. She knows what's about to happen. Another innocent family is in danger. Fueled by adrenaline, Harker bolts out of the house, steals Longlegs' car from her mother's garage, and speeds off into the night, her tires screeching against the pavement as she races to stop the impending massacre. When she arrives at the Carter household, the nightmare is already unfolding. Her mother is already there, orchestrating the sinister ritual. The Carter family stands frozen in a trance, their eyes glazed over in the presence of one of the cursed dolls. Then, in a sudden explosion of violence, Mr. Carter, completely under the doll's control, murders his wife right there in the kitchen, the blood splattering across the walls like a macabre painting. Harker doesn't hesitate. In a desperate bid to protect Carter's young daughter, she raises her gun and pulls the trigger, ending Carter's life in an instant. But the nightmare isn't over. Her mother, still devoted to the ritual, advances toward the terrified little girl, determined to complete the sacrifice. Harker is faced with an unthinkable choice. Let the horror continue, or put an end to it once and for all. Tears well up in her eyes as she makes her decision. With a heavy heart, she raises her gun one last time and pulls the trigger, killing her own mother to break the spell and end the cycle of violence. But just when she thinks it's over, she realizes her gun is empty. The cursed doll, the true source of all this evil, remains untouched, its sinister presence lingering in the room like a ghostly whisper. As the movie comes to an end, we see Longlegs himself. Sitting in an interrogation room, he leans forward, his eerie smile never wavering. He looks straight at the audience as if he's fully aware that his reign of terror is far from over. With a wicked glint in his eye, he utters his final words, "Hail Satan." Then, with deliberate, unsettling slowness, he blows a kiss. The end. If you liked the video, kindly like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.